Wrestling fans, thanks for clicking today's Reddit Rose report. Hope everybody had a safe and great weekend, unlike the Colts had. But anyway, they ended up not too bad. They just, it always amazes me how far they can come back from being down so low, on a big comeback. Why can't they just stay even and then do the comeback? They would blow everybody out of the water, but oh well. Hey, tonight's WWE Raw taking place from the Baltimore Arena, Baltimore, Maryland, and confirmed for tonight's show is Roman Reigns taking on Randy Orton, Jericho taking on Wyatt in a steel cage, and Jerry Springer taking on probably everybody. He's going to be hosting an intervention between the Bella twins. Ain't gonna work. WWE is billing tonight's show as the season premiere Raw, and there's a lot of shows premiering this weekend or this week. Anyway, other stars advertised, including, of course, the usual suspects. Nobody out of the ordinary. Oh, Cena, Jericho, Reigns is taking on Orton, Kane, and Wyatt as the local match. WWE is focusing on these points for tonight. Will Orton's aggression lead to the Authority victory over Reigns? Will Wyatt's buzzards be circling the steel cage? Does Rusev fear Mark Henry? Can Jerry Springer keep the peace between the Bellas? And is John Cena truly prepared for Night of Champions? By the way, I don't know if you caught the new episode of, well, it's the new season of Total Divas last night. But anyways, reported a while back, Rosa Mendez took time off away from WWE for rehab. It was revealed by Rosa Mendez herself on tonight's Total Divas. Don't know whether you've seen it or not. But anyway, she says, I just want to thank everyone for their lovely, supportive tweets. It wasn't easy to tell everyone why I was gone, but I am so glad that I did. Brie Bella reportedly said in a media interview for Total Divas this past weekend that her husband, Daniel Bryan, will not need a second surgery as, suspected. But doctors made their decision this past week, which is great for us, great for him, great for her. Brie added that Bryan's going through some rehab, though, and is slowly regaining strength in his right arm. There's still no word when he's going to be back in action, but WWE officials are hoping for 3 months from now. We'll see. And the season finale of Steve Austin's Broken Skull Challenge aired last night on CMT at 8 p.m. I don't know when they repeat it, but I was sure they probably do. And WWE's website's got a new poll up asking fans which divas have more drama, Nikki and Brie or Paige and AJ. 16,000 votes says the Bellas are in the lead with 64%. WWE's NXT champion Charlotte did this Q&A on Twitter this, I think it was the night before last night, that said she says a prayer to her brother Reed before heading out to her matches. And she also notes that her first WWE t-shirt will be coming out soon. I hope it's going to be a wet t-shirt. WWE put Jey Uso back in the ring at last night's live event in Dayton, Ohio, but the Usos teamed with the Great Khali to defeat the Wyatt family in a 6-man action. Uso had a knee taped up, sold the leg injury for most of the match, which means it's not injured. It's okay, don't shh. And there's a video on the internet of Jake the Snake Roberts appearing at a Future Stars of Wrestling event in Las Vegas last night to speak to fans. Jake told fans that he does have cancer, but if you can beat addiction, you can beat cancer. Jake noted that WWE has been kind to him as they contacted one of his kids when he got sick last week and paid for their flight to Vegas to be with Jake. And Jake released from Vegas Hospital, by the way, on Saturday, and he's going to be staying with Sin Bodai until he's able to fly back to home to Georgia, and that's Kazarni, by the way. Former WWE Women's Champion Molly Holly turned 38 years old yesterday, and season premiere, which I was telling you about, the Total Divas, will air last night at 9 p.m. Their synopsis for it was Nikki plans a future without John. Eva Marie has chosen between her family and her husband, and Rosa Mendez reveals a dark, horrible secret. We already know what it is. Hey, courtesy of DVD News, DVD News. Here's a little bit of the content of the WWE Attitude Era Volume 2 coming out in November. It says, starts out with Miss Slammy's swimsuit competition. Good way to start it out. Sable versus Sunny versus Marlena versus the Funkettes. That was in 1997. Owen Hart taking on Shawn Michaels on Raw, December 29th, 1997. And then they got the New Age Outlaws taking on Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie. It was on Raw, January 26, 1998. If that's the dumpster match, I was at that. When the dumpster goes off, you look at the back row to see if you don't see old Dad stand on his seat in the back row where the dumpster was looking down. And if you don't see me, it's probably not that's not the one. I can't remember what the date when I went. Anyway, Intercontinental Championship match is Rock taking on Ken Shamrock, 98. Stone Cold taking on Mr. McMahon in 1998. And then they got Owen Hart and Legion of Doom taking on Triple H and New Age Outlaws in 98. The Generation X takes on New York, 98. Falls Count Anywhere match, Mankind taking on Kane. Good matches on this. Bikini contest, Sable versus Jacqueline, 1998. I know it's on the, it's at the show called Fully Loaded. Anyway, Val Venus taking on Takamaki Nichu and Kaientai. I forgot about them guys. 98. Stone Cold taking on Shamrock. 98. Al Snow taking on Slaughter. 98. Edge and Gangrel versus D'Lo Brown versus Jeff Jarrett versus Droz versus Mark Mero. 98. That's a 6-man elimination contenders match for the European title. Back when we had a European title. The Rock taking on X-Pac. 98. And then disc, that's only disc 1. Disc 2, Becoming a Pimp. That's what it says. Godfather and Val Venus taking on Mark Henry, D'Lo Brown. Anyway, they got Edge taking on Triple H. What else have we got here? Big Show taking on Triple H and The Rock in 99. We got the Hardy Boys, of course, on there, and APA. Mark Henry's therapy session. And, of course, Mark Henry and Mae Young gets a room. That's in 2000. That was great stuff back then. It was goofy as hell, but I don't know. Classic match here. Eddie Guerrero taking on Dean Malenko's Saturday Night Heat in year 2000. Oh, what's going down here? What we got on disc 3? We got Triple H taking on McMahon. That's a WWE Championship match in 99. Oh, what else? What else? Okay. By the way, anyway, there's more on there. It goes all the way to Triple H taking on Jericho in 2000. WWE has taped their 2014 Tribute to the Troops special on December 10th. We'll tape it. And indie stars Rich Swann and Jeff Cobb are amongst those that had a WWE tryout Performance Center this past week. And there's going to be a special TakeOver 2 preview episode, WWE NXT, next Thursday afternoon, 4 p.m. on the network. Which is how much? I forget. But anyway, there's also going to be a live 30-minute TakeOver kickoff pre-show before the event. Chris Jericho did a Q&A on Twitter last night. And here's a couple of the highlights. Kind of interesting. Triple H was the biggest guest and best interview yet, he says. Chris Jericho said the ratings for that interview are insane. The next 12 weeks of Talk is Jericho planned, and he has some amazing names lined up, he says. And Fozzy is working on a huge UK tour to be announced in the future. And he confirms he will not be at WWE's Raw tour of the UK in November. He also said he won't be wrestling at Hell in a Cell either. And he thinks Chris Jericho and Eddie Guerrero would be still kicking ass and working behind the scenes if they were still with us. I do too. Thanks for clicking, you guys. I gotta go.